Have we come to this? Have we really come to this? Are we really here right now? In Caserio we trust? What's up, YouTube? Your boy back once again with another sport topic, and today we're going to talk some football. Houston Texans football. And are we here? Is it time for the Texans organization and the Houston Texans fan base as a whole, all of us as a whole as a fan base, actually trust in Nick Caserio and to not only putting together a team, but actually putting together a contender, a potential champion, dare I say, dynasty? Is it time to actually sit back and allow the guy who they hired to be the general manager, Nick Caserio, who got everybody up in uproar, to actually let him do his thug thizzle, let him do what he got to do, because he might have a plan in place that not only will blow your socks off, but if it executed properly, we are looking at a potential beginning of a dynasty. But also, if it falls flat on its face, you're looking at the Cleveland Browns, the Detroit Lions, the Buffalo Bills of the past 15 to 20 years. And I know Cleveland and Buffalo just went to the playoffs, but I say that not tongue in cheek, but I say that to say this: both of them went 25 plus years without winning a playoff game. Detroit has won one playoff game in the past 60 years, and have only won one. And when they won that one playoff game was over 30 years ago, back in '92. So there's that. There's that. So, or 91, it might be 91. It might not be 92. It might be 91. But it's been 30 years. They've won one playoff game in 60-some years, and the one that they won was 30 years ago. So there is that. There is that, and that could be the downside if this plan is not executed properly. But like I say, maybe we should be trusting in him, because I got a plan, and I think I might know where his plan is. Now, again, this is me speculating. This is me thinking what he could possibly be doing. So don't take this as I'm confirming this is what we're doing. We got to know some of y'all twist up people's words like, well, Spitz, I thought you said he was doing this. They're gonna remain nameless. We're not gonna talk about them. True. We're not gonna talk about them right now. But we do know that some people like to twist people's words, but we're not gonna talk about that right now. We're gonna talk about what I think is the plan, because it's a damn good one. And we're going to start like this. Obviously, we talking about dynasties here. A potential dynasty. Building a championship team. And this team is deployed of talent. So you have to get talent. It's deployed talent. It's deployed of draft equity. So there's a lot of rumors going around talking about the Texans could go out there and they targeting William Jackson. From U of H, he plays for the Bengals, cornerback for the Bengals. Potentially is out there targeting Jason Verrett, who's somebody I talked about last year. Now, like I said, Jason Verrett is the cornerback version of Will Fuller. When he's on the field, he's a damn good corner, but he's had a lot of injury history back from his days back in San Diego, and he played well last year. He played well last year and played a full season, but when he's on the field, he plays good. Like he's an all-pro corner when he plays. It's just that he's bitten by the injury bug. Also, Desmond King, a former Charger, played last year with the Titans at the end of the season. A running mate of Jason Verrett. I think if you get a combination of one of those, if you get a combination of two of those three guys, out of Verrett and William Jackson, or Verrett and Desmond King, or Desmond King and William Jackson, I think you'd be set. As far as I think, how I am about corners, I think those would be some names to target. You also throw out the name Malcolm Butler. He has the whole New England issue tied to the Texans. He got cut from the Titans. I wanted Malcolm Butler when he was a free agent the first time, but I call him Big Play Butler now because he always gives up big plays. So especially if Will Fuller did some foul stuff and went signed with the Titans, I would not want Malcolm Butler nowhere near the Texans, because I call him Big Play Butler, and he's gonna give up the big play. But Caserio does normally find the Houston Texans normally, not Houston Texans, but the New England Patriots normally find guys in the secondary. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's able to come away with some of these secondary moves. But this is the big thing. Obviously, you talking about getting a big package for Deshaun Watson. And this is where things get very, very interesting. Because I talked about this in the last video about some of the moves that were made in the offseason so far, like bringing back Hargraves and the restructuring of David Johnson and things like that. I made a joke about it, saying that we have to win in 2016. There's a reason for that. And I think there's a real reason why he did that. I'm going to explain today when I break down what I think they're about to do. Trade Deshaun Watson, potentially to the New York Jets. Get back the second pick of the draft, which is the second pick of the draft, and also get the other first round pick, which is the 27th pick, if I'm not mistaken. Get their second round pick, which is the 34th pick. Then you also get their 2 ones from next year, and hopefully can get their second from next year and end up getting 6 picks. But I can see a situation where they would take those 5, those 4 number ones and this year's second, which are very crucial. Those are the most crucial picks. The 4 ones and then the 2 of this year. Those are the most crucial. I would like to have the second pick next year as well and end up getting 6 in total plus Quentin Williams. But I can see those deals going without the second round pick and Quentin Williams. But if I'm the Jets, what I would take Sam Darnold and move Sam Darnold somewhere else to acquire another pick and add that pick into this draft as well. I mean, add that pick into this trade as well. That's what I would do. So anyways, so the Texans have the second pick of the draft. Everybody is up here hyping up Zach Wilson that he might even be the best quarterback in this draft. But we all know that more than likely 9 times out of 10 that Trevor Lawrence is going to Jacksonville. So Zach Wilson will be the number 2 quarterback potentially coming off the board. The Texans and Nick Caserio will use that to their advantage because you have the Carolina Panthers with the 8th pick and the Atlanta Falcons with the 4th pick. You trade down to one of those guys. I actually would prefer them to trade to 8 with Carolina because if you jump all the way down to 8, you potentially can squeeze out a number 1 next year and a second round pick this year because you jumping from 2 to 8 and they're going to get a franchise quarterback because you know they're going to go get Zach Wilson. The 4th one, you're not going to get as much back. You probably get some later round picks. You probably get the Falcons second and maybe get like a 3rd or 4th or something like that because you're only moving down 2 slots, so you're not going to get exactly the compensation back for it. But if you move down to 4, you still in prime position to draft either Justin Fields or Trey Lance with that 4th pick. The 8th pick, you still have a chance to draft one of those 2, but it'd be dicey because the Falcons going to need a quarterback, and then the Dolphins, because they have Tua, more than likely they'll trade out that 3rd pick, which I don't. If I'm the Dolphins and you're going to roll with Tua because you can't get Deshaun Watson, they need to draft his running mate from Alabama and get Devontae Smith. That's what they need to do, but I can see them trading back. Same thing with the Bengals with the 5th pick. They already have their quarterback. Now the smart thing for them to do is to draft the left tackle out of Oregon, but they might want to jump back. To have somebody jump up to get a quarterback. So you just run the risk of, because you got teams like San Francisco with the 12th pick, the Patriots, I forgot what pick they have. Like you got other teams potentially going after to get quarterbacks. If you jump all the way down to 8, you might not be able to get the quarterback that you want. You might need to be stuck with somebody like Matt Jones. So I would prefer them from a compensation standpoint to go the Carolina route, but I potentially see them, if you still want to draft a quarterback in this draft and you still like Justin Fields, you still like Trey Lance or whatever, you want that 4th pick because at the very least you still be able to get one of those 2 players because Zach Wilson will go 2, and then the Dolphins will either draft Devontae Smith or they'll trade back, and then only one of those quarterbacks go. You'll still be able to get your quarterback at 4 if you jump back to 4. But ain't that a Patriot thing to do, to jump back and acquire picks? So, like I said, with the 27th pick, you go out there, you draft. I believe they should draft a cornerback like, I really like J.C. Horn, but I can see them going after Asante Samuel Jr. Then the second round, because now you have 2 second-round picks because you have a second-round pick from the Jets trade, and you either have the Falcons second-round pick or a Carolina second-round pick. You go out there, you draft offensive lineman. You go get Najee Harris if Najee Harris is still on the board. And if Najee Harris is not on the board, that's fine because I have a plan later on in the draft in the 3rd round. If you can't get Najee Harris, I go out there and draft another receiver because I think you should draft a quarterback with that 1st pick you have. So you're definitely going to draft a receiver, especially since you let Will Fuller walk out the door. Now you brought back Brandon Cooks, but you still need another receiver because you just gonna have Brandon Cooks, Randall Cobb, and Kiki. You gotta have another receiver. Oh, I forgot about Coulter, but. It's a shame that we didn't get a chance to see Coulter play. It's a shame we don't even know what to expect from him. But anyway, so we go into the season with this rookie quarterback, and then this is when all those offseason moves I talked about earlier. We can't be. These offseason moves were all 1 year deals. Like it was a 1 year restructure with David Johnson. It was a 1 year 1 year re-signing with Vernon Hargreaves. It's a 1 year signing with Mark Ingram. The plan is to tank, flat out, just flat out the tank. The plan is, of course, the quarterback that they just draft. He plays well. He goes out there and looks like a viable franchise quarterback, kind of like similar to Deshaun Watson rookie year, where remember Deshaun Watson only won 3 football games. The Texans only won 4 games as a total, and Deshaun Watson only won 3 football games as a rookie year because the rest of the team was so bad. That's basically the plan. You have your rookie quarterback look good, look like he's the franchise guy, but your team itself plays bad, and you end up drafting in the top 5, potentially drafted number 1. And think about this. Just say, for instance, if you draft top 5, potentially number 1, you still got Seattle's pick, and you have the Jets pick, and now you have Seattle's pick because the other pick that you get from the Jets is Seattle's pick. And more than likely, especially if you make this trade, you damn sure want Seattle to trade Russell Wilson. Because Seattle trade Russell Wilson, they are going to be a bad football team. Because if they move on from Russell Wilson, then they're going to tank. They're going to be a bad football team. And that just makes your pick even higher with them. So now you have 3 first-round picks. Potentially the first pick is drafted from your own self. And then you have wherever the Jets fall and wherever Seattle falls to, especially if Seattle trades away Russell Wilson, you could potentially have 2 picks in the top 10. And I'll be honest with you, I'm a huge Deshaun Watson fan. The Jets roster is not a good roster. The Jets roster now is worse than the 2020 Texans roster. And Deshaun Watson only won 4 football games. Now he'll win more than 4 football games just on strength of it's the Jets, and I could definitely see just things going that they'll win more football games. But I could see probably at best be an 8-8 football team this season. That's another reason why if I'm Nick Caserio, I'm waiting to after the big wave of free agency go into I trade Deshaun Watson. I'm waiting more towards right up to draft. Because I don't want them to get any big name free agents. Sidebar: if I'm the Jets, I'm throwing a boatload of money at Will Fuller and Aaron Jones. Just a sidebar. If I'm them, if I'm the Jets, I'm giving Will Fuller a 4-year contract worth like $65 million. I'm giving Aaron Jones, the running back from Green Bay, a whole bunch of money because I want the Jets to look enticing to Deshaun Watson. Remember, he still has a no trade clause. I'm like, hey, it's New York. Your boy Will Fuller here. You got to run back Aaron Jones. So hey, come here. Trade, and then remember the Jets have the best package as far as assets to give back to the Texans, so it'll be enticing for the Texans, and you make it enticing for Deshaun Watson to waive his no trade clause to that situation. And if he doesn't, and you still keep the second pick, and you draft Zach Wilson, then you got a receiver you have a receiver to throw the football for Zach Wilson to throw football too, and you have a running back for Zach Wilson. So if I'm the Jets, that's what I'm doing. I think that both, and if I'm the Jets, that's why I'm selling to Will Fuller and Aaron Jones to sign with me. Not only am I offering you money, because remember the Jets I think have the second most cap space in the NFL outside Jacksonville. This New York. And we're going to get Deshaun Watson. Especially with y'all here, we're going to get Deshaun Watson. So, if I'm the Jets, that's what I'm doing. This is a sidebar. But anyway, I think the Jets will probably be around 8-8. So, there's a potential that you have a top 5 pick, two picks in the top 10, one being top 5, another pick in the top 10, and also probably have a top 15, another pick being in the top 15. So, you have 3 picks in the top 15. Know what Nick Caserio and the Texans going to do? Their number 1 pick, because they already have their franchise quarterback. Somebody else is going to want a franchise quarterback. They're going to trade back and get a future first for 2020, because next year's 2022, to get a future first for 2023 and potentially 2024. That means they're going to constantly have first-round picks. Going for the next 5 years, they're going to have multiple first-round picks. So you go from a team that's only had 1 first-round pick, 2 first-round picks since 2017. You drafted Deshaun Watson in 2017, and then you didn't have another first-round pick to 2019 when you drafted Tyus Howard. You didn't have a first-round or second-round pick in 2018. Drafted Tyus Howard in 2019. You didn't have a first round pick in 2020, and you don't have a first round pick in 2021, a first or second round pick in 2021. But then you go from you traded and got 2 picks in 2021. You got 3 picks in 2022. You're going to have 2 picks in 2023. And then 2 picks in 2024. And then we know what you're going to do going forward. Trade your highest pick. Unless it's somebody that you really want. Trade your highest pick. Jump back. And acquire more first round picks. And you can potentially keep kicking that can down the road. Keep constantly having multiple first round picks for the next, like I say, 4, 5, 6 years. And that's good because now, if you're hitting on all these picks, even if you're hitting on half these picks, contracts are being stacked. Because if you start hitting on these players, you got to pay these players eventually. And that would teams fall, especially when you get a boatload of picks in one time. Like, that's the whole thing. Oh, get all the picks. The Texans need to do that and get all the picks this year, like Miami, because Miami has 2 firsts and 2 seconds. Now, one of the first and second is yours. But it's about, man, the Dolphins got the package. The Dolphins package is really not that good because the Dolphins package is all in this season right here. It's all in this season right here. And if you hit on these players, you got to pay all these players at the same time. Remember, rookies in the first round have a 50 option. So you have 2 players that you draft this year. You draft your you draft your quarterback and you draft your corner. Okay? They contract not due until 5 years from now. So their rookie deal won't be up over 4 years from now. Then you get the 50 option. Their rookie deal won't be up until 2025. The next year you have guys who are rookie. You got 3 guys that you're drafting. Their contracts won't be up until 2026. The next people, their contract won't be up until 2027. You constantly stacking contracts. So if you got guys are worth being paid, you staggering them. You're not paying them all in the same offseason. You don't have to make a decision. Do I pay this person? Do I franchise this person? Do I let this person walk? No, because you're gonna be stacking the contracts like this. So when somebody is up, you're going to have that room, unless you butcher the rest of the salary cap, you're going to have that room to sign these next players because other people contracts are going to fall off because everybody not getting paid around the same time. Now, of course, you're going to have some people run up. Your second round pick going to end up running with a third round pick or something like that because their contracts are not staggered because after the first round, rookies only get 4 years. So only the first round can get 50 options. But that's how you could potentially build a dynasty. That's how you can potentially, and that's something that Nick Caserio will have to make his mark on because Nick Caserio is not going to be blamed, just like he wasn't blamed for letting JJ walk. He's not going to be blamed for trading Deshaun Watson because he's in a situation where Deshaun Watson's forced away out. Any other general manager is going to get blamed for any other general manager in another situation will be blamed for trading a franchise quarterback. All time. 10 times out of 10, they're going to get blamed for. Why would you even do that? Why would you do that? But this is a different situation, not because of Nick Caserio. It's a different situation no matter who's GM. I could have been general manager. I wouldn't get blamed because Deshaun Watson's trying to force his way out. He's out here, and everybody's clamoring that, he has to get traded. He has to get traded because they want him to get traded. So Caserio won't get blamed for trading Deshaun Watson. But he will get blamed of what he receives back for him. If it's equivalent to the Hopkins trade, like everybody talking about Carolina, if he would trade Deshaun Watson Carolina for Chris McCaffrey and the 8th pick in the draft, he would get roasted for doing that. If he traded for a player and 2 picks, he would get roasted for doing that because it's a franchise quarterback. At the very least, you need to get 3 to 4 first round picks. Now, there could be 3 or 4 first-round picks for going in consecutive years. That's the reason why people keep talking about the Dolphins and the Jets because they have an advantage. They have a cheat code because they have multiple picks in this draft, and the Jets have multiple picks in the next 2 drafts. Same thing with Jacksonville. I think Jacksonville got first. I know Jacksonville got 2 picks this year. I think they got 2 first-round picks next year too, if I'm not mistaken. But I know damn sure I know the Jets do. So teams are teams. Not teams, but people won't blame Nick Caserio for that. But they will blame him for the compensation that he gets back and then also what he does with it. That is how Nick Caserio is going to be able to make his mark as a legitimate general manager. Get a big, massive haul for Deshaun Watson and then use it in a way to constantly continue to replenish his team with youthful talent. Like I say, staggering. You tank this year. This year's a wash. You tank this year. Make sure you find your franchise guy, and then you go out there and you just let loose. You don't worry about schemes or whatever. You go out there and you just let him play football. You want him to make all the mistakes he can make, so you know exactly this is the guy. You let him play loose, his head down, and he just go out there and especially somebody like Trey Lance. Just let him throw the football all over the yard. Justin Fields, let him throw the football all over the yard. Even they like Zach would throw the football all over the yard. But you still lose games, so you have the first pick next year. You have 3 picks, and you take that first pick and you trade it back. You trade it down to the 49ers or something. They give you the 12th pick in the draft and then give you their first for next year and potentially their first for the next 2 years or something like that. And you constantly keep on moving those picks back, and you do that for the next couple of years. Therefore, you're able to replenish your team year after year. Always put you for talent. Always put you in a situation where you can do whatever you want to. Because, say, for instance, you start winning football games, and now you're in the playoffs, but it's a player that you want that's falling off the board. There's a running back that's falling off the board, or a receiver that's just falling down the board. Now you got the ammunition to go up and get them, and you still got another first-round pick on the back burner. Oh, well, shit, I can move my first-round pick and jump up in the draft because I have a first-round pick to play with. I still got another first-round pick. And you do this for as long as you can. That's the Patriot way. You want to emulate the Patriots. Emulate the good shit. Not just we're the Patriots. No, if you're going to emulate them, if you're going to copy them, if you're going to bring that Patriot way down here, do it. Do it correctly. Bring the right way. That right there, not outside of having Tom Brady, is the reason why the Patriots constantly won championships. Because they did things the smart way. Smart contracts. Also, people did want to come down there and play at a cheaper rate, which I think people will do it for Tampa Bay, especially since Tom Brady went. Well, I think people are going to do for Kansas City, because I know Kansas City's in a salary cap situation. Well, I actually think people will start doing to the Jets if they get Deshaun Watson, because it's the city of New York. People are going to go there. They're going to. It's like the whole LeBron effect. Remember, I said this. Go back and watch my early videos. I said Deshaun Watson could be LeBron James. I said this. I meant that he's going to make people gravitate to him. That people be Texan fans because Deshaun Watson. A lot of people were Miami Heat fans. Then they were Cleveland Cavalier fans. Now they Laker fans. They follow LeBron wherever he go. People going to do the same thing for Deshaun Watson. I said that. I said all the Clintons are going to follow Houston. And that's what happens. And people talking about this all the time. Oh, Deshaun go here, I'm going there. Deshaun go to Miami, I'm going to Miami. Deshaun go to the Jets, I'm going to the Jets. The LeBron effect, I said this, and also, like LeBron, people want to go play in Cleveland. People want to go play in Miami. People are not going to play in LA. He go to the Jets, people are going to start playing with the Jets. People are going to start going to the Jets. No matter how a dumpster fire of a franchise has been for the past 15, 20 years, people are going to start going to the Jets because it's the city of New York and Deshaun Watson's the quarterback. That's what's going to happen. That's the reason why if I'm Nick Caserio, I'm waiting to after free agency before I move him to the Jets, because I want that pick next year to be as good as possibly can. I want to potentially have 3 picks in the top 15. That's why I hope Russell Wilson gets traded to wherever. So he's not playing in Seattle no more. I want those first 3 picks, my picks next year, to be in the top 15. Now I can take one of those picks, whichever one's the highest, flip it for another future pick, because somebody's always going to be thirsty for a quarterback. Pitch it for another future pick and continue to build my team. That is what I'm saying. Is it time for the Texans to start trusting Nick Caserio? Because if you start doing things like that, it's not just, sign the big names here and there, here and there. Like I said, I think he's signing these little small deals because he wants this season to be as bad as he can. He wants whoever he drafts to look good. To look like we found the guy. But the team record as a whole be bad, and I'm going to fix it on the back burner. I'm going to get corners here. I'm going to get running backs here, receivers here. I'm going to get linemen here, linebackers there. I'm going to do this tight ends over here, and potentially build this team that 3 years from now, we in a championship type game. And I'm not Super Bowl. I'm talking about AFC conference type championship type game. Like, bad season this year. Second year, either we fighting for a playoff spot or we actually get to the playoffs and lose. By the third year, we hear AFC Championship game or bust. Fourth year of Nick Caserio and this quarterback that we just drafted, they gotta get you to the goal. That's what we wasted with Deshaun Watson. By Deshaun Watson's 4th year, this was his 4th year, we should have been playing for the Super Bowl. Just point blank. With a talent like Deshaun Watson, that's what you should have been doing, and we wasted it. Let's not do this with whoever we bring in, because if we don't, we'll end up we end up like the Browns and the Browns, the Bills, and Detroit of the past 15, 20, 30 years. It takes you 24, 23, 60 years to get a playoff win. And I'm not ready for that. What's up, YouTube? I actually sit next to it. Like, subscribe, leave a comment below if you haven't clicked that bell to get more videos. I holla.